Good morning, guys. This is Eric VM Hoi Soy. I am the, yeah, exactly. We will do that, Eric. I'm coming at you live. It's 8:01:42 from the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, guys. And from alongside the S&P pit. Guys, this morning in the overnight session, we have yet to kick off the trading day down here. We still have 30 minutes. But guys, in the overnight session, what have we seen? What have we seen, guys? We've seen new all-time highs in the ESZ8 contract. That does confirm what we talked about yesterday, right? What we talked about yesterday, that bid that we saw all day Tuesday off those lows. President Trump did speak about tariffs, right? We saw a sell-off into the Tuesday overnight session. Since then, we're talking about the YM, we're talking about the ES, guys. We have seen bid off those lows, nothing but bid, no look back on that trade. From 25,991 in the YM all the way up to, what are we trading right now, guys? We have a high of 26,599. That's 85 points off all-time highs, guys. I'm sorry, off our swing highs, all-time highs. Let's believe that is all-time highs, guys. We are seeing the ES as well. The ESZ8 see some serious initiative out of balance this morning, guys, above previous highs. That was the 29.2175s, guys. We traded those this morning and have not looked back. We have seen some overlapping price activity into new highs. Again, we saw 7 highs. We saw a pullback into the 4 halves. And we did see trade all the way up into 775s. We're trading 675s last. Guys, that NASDAQ has been a laggard. That Russell have been laggards. There is a big difference between the YM and the ES and the NASDAQ and the Russell, guys. The two on the top of the screen, the ES and the YM, guys, are still initiative out of balance. Above that last breakout, guys. That last breakout that we saw from the 29, from the, let's see, that would be the, let's go back, 2830s, guys. The 2830s were the previous all-time highs that we broke out of, guys. The 2830s on the ES, and then we did see an area of balance that was put in here from the 66s, 2866s down into the 2801s, and we, since that breakout, guys, talking about a month ago, we have not looked back, guys. Have not looked back. So yeah, guys, we are seeing that bid come in and into new all-time highs. I don't think there's any reason not to have a 30-minute bias, not to have a 5-minute bias, and that 4-hour bias is clearly still in place, guys. So we are initiating our balance out of a 4-hour area balance, 30-minute area balance, and a 5-minute area balance to the upside on the ES. Same thing with the YM, guys. YM, you can see on the charts. Let me just zoom that chart in a little bit. You guys can see here on the YM that we are right. We are seeing we are seeing that 684s as the all-time highs in the YM. We can zoom out for a year and go off the Z chart, right? And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. That is that previous all-time high that was put back in the end of January, right? Guys, we're just 85 points off of it. We're up 137 right now. 137, guys, and we are definitely seeing some bid come back in. Additionally, the dollar has gotten crushed recently, right? So let's see here. We do have that ahead of us, guys, but that YM on the daily chart, yeah, we're coming up on it. We're coming up on that area. Additionally, guys, the NASDAQ, let's go out to that 4-hour chart of the NASDAQ. You'll be able to see, well, let's go out to a 20-day 1-hour chart. across all four of them, right? 20-day 1 hour chart. We did bring this up yesterday. We did talk about this yesterday during the regular hour session. You can see a big difference, right, in the YM, that bid that we saw in the YM yesterday, how that took us above recent highs. The ES, how it's chopped up from the 21.75s all the way down into the 28.70s, and did we and have we seen overlapping price activity up here? Heck yes, we have. What about the NASDAQ though? We're talking about that same time frame, and we put in that 21.75 in the ES. That's when we put in a high in the NASDAQ. But guys, what has NASDAQ done since? Yeah, it's balanced lower. And are we still within this larger fat cran area balance on the 1 hour time frame? Heck yes, we are. So that is it's definitely difficult to see a continuation. Same thing with the Russell. Off that 1750 high, have we seen 1, 2, 3, 4 areas of balance lower? And are we still in that area of balance, that final 1 hour area of balance? You bet we are, guys. So yeah, I definitely do think that we are seeing some major divergence between the Russell and the NASDAQ, which are weak, and the ES and the YM that are strong. We talked about that yesterday, and we've clearly seen that come into play. Here. We are seeing that the ES into new all-time highs, that YM right up on them, guys, right up on them. We're 80 points off of them right now, and that NASDAQ still has a long ways to go, still has 150 points to go, and that Russell still has 35 points to go. So big divergence between those. So let's just talk really quick. Let's talk really quick about what we're seeing. So the ES is still initiative above that previous all-time high, which is that 28.30, and we are still seeing a long bias price pattern into 28.64 and 28.33 quarters, same as yesterday. Fortunately, cannot revise that up yet. I think that if we close above that 21.75 today, if we close above that, I'm going to call this an initiative day. And I'm going to say that I'm going to bring up that 4 hour lean to the lower extreme of this area of balance that we're in right now. Let's talk about it. Yeah, that would bring it up to the 28.70. Trade back below that 28.70 into that 28, I'll call it the 28.60 something. I think that's going to be failed initiative out of balance and trade back through the lower extreme. And that will bring into question, that will take away our 4 hour lean. So all of our leans at this point are going to be invalidated with trade back below the 28.70s, guys, the 28.60 somethings. That's if we stay initiative out of balance today. So long lean bias, new all-time highs reaffirmed the long lean. We're looking for a price pattern into the 28.94 quarters. I think that we have to leave that there right now. 28.94 94 quarter. That's the middle of this larger area of balance, and that's I don't think we have enough time up here in this area of balance. We have two trading sessions. I don't think it's enough to establish a full 30-minute lean yet. I think I need an extra day. So I don't think that I can actually bring that lean up. I'm gonna leave it at the middle of that larger area of balance. And finally, guys, good morning, Karen. Good to see you. I also do want to talk about that initiative, 5-minute initiative, right? We're seeing that I'm looking for a price pattern into 29.17 halves with invalidation sustained below the 29.14s. So let's zoom in and let's talk about that right quick, right? Let's talk about that right quick on the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it to it. So zooming in, guys, are we seeing, could we potentially bring that up? We could potentially bring that up, but I think that we're likely to see overlapping price activity. Even if we were to pull back down into the 24s, I would not be too worried about this. I think that the that 21.75 will provide support below. and I think that all of this initiative could hang on, and we could see all the way back down into the 17s. If we see on into the 17s, I would be a buyer, but back below that 14s, which is where we took off from, essentially, I think that that would definitely call us into question. Now that is 12 points lower, and I think that we should be fairly risk adverse at this point. We should be fairly risk adverse to the upside. I think a good pullback, a 10-point pullback would be something that we would be looking to buy. But until then, I think that you should be. I think I will be fairly risk adverse. I'll be looking into the 2175 to see if we can get some support there, if we even get a pullback. But it makes it really hard for me to buy these new all-time highs. I'm, if anything, I'm lightening into all-time highs, guys. I'm lightening into all-time highs, long positions. So, guys, that's the ES. We do have long lean bias and the price pattern to 29.17 quarters. Guys, NASDAQ, the 4-hour, we're still looking at the 74.20. That's our recent trade. Trade back below that takes away our 4-hour bias. No bias on the 30 minutes. Let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about the NASDAQ. No bias on the 30 minutes. What are you talking about? No bias on the 30 minutes, hoy soy. It's because, guys, we've seen 1, 2, 3 areas of balance lower. We have seen, sure, I mean, I guess we could say that on the 30-minute time frame we did see that spike up, so trade down yesterday and back up. We could say that's a 30-minute area of balance. I could dig that. I think I'd like to see a little bit longer trade than just 2 sessions, but we could say that, and we could say that say trade back down to the middle of that area of balance, which corresponds pretty well with that 75.26. Could be a buy. I could dig it. I could definitely dig it, but I'm not seeing it because, guys, we have to get, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think we have to get above 76.30 in order for us to reestablish any sort of long lean in that 30-minute time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, however, we clearly do have a long lean bias. We are looking for a key area as a price pattern to 26.537. So let's go ahead and zoom, and we'll talk about why. 75. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of that so we can actually zoom in, guys. Alright, so 2 overlapping price areas, guys. We're failing initiative out of balance currently. On the NASDAQ, back into that previous area of balance on the 5-minute time frame, and we are looking at on the NASDAQ, we're looking at a long lean bias into the 75. I don't know why I was talking about the YM, guys. The NASDAQ, there's a price pattern into 75.28. So 75.28. That is the middle of the previous area of balance. I think that we can actually tighten that up now. I think we can definitely start to tighten that up. And let's talk about why I think that I did talk about that. I did write that this morning at 6:30 a.m. when I was here. So let's tighten that up because we have seen continued trade to the upside. I think that right here, guys, we definitely would not want to see sustained trade below the 75.60s. So 75, let's call it the 75.62s. I think that we would not want to see sustained trade below that. So I think that we're looking for a price pattern in this area right here from the 68s to the 64s. Looking for a price pattern, but back below the 62s, and I start to say, man, this definitely calls into question this long lean, right? So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and tighten that up. All right, guys. So we're looking for a price pattern into 75.60, 75.60. 75.65, right? From here, 75.67 to 65. And invalidation is sustained trade below. Sustained trade below the 62. I think that invalidates our long lean. Alright, so guys, I think that is that's really tightening it up on that NASDAQ long, but we are seeing some we're seeing failed initiative out of balance on the upside currently, and if we do see some selling, I think that we want to be out of the way of that. Guys, YM, let's move it on over, rocket on over to the YM. You know it. We have seen that YM. Guys, we have seen nothing on the 1 hour time frame, nothing but bid in the YM, nothing but bid over the last 2 full sessions, 2.5 sessions, guys, nothing but bid. So guys, I think on the 4 hour we clearly have that established, clearly have established where we're looking, right? We're clearly looking at the 757s. I think we could even bring that up a little bit higher, guys, at this point. I think we could actually bring that up, but we'll see how today goes. We could bring that up actually to the 625, 629, 26029s. I'm sorry, 26029. So let's actually do it. Let's bring that up into the 26029s, right, and anywhere above. And we are looking for, we have a long lean bias on the 30-minute time frame. We're curious where the 26,472s. Let's go into a 30-minute chart. I think that with this sustained bid that we have seen this morning, some of the biases that I had this morning are a little bit dated, because we've seen another 75 points, half hundred come in the way of upside continuation in the YM since I made those leans. But yeah, I think that the middle of the previous area of balance is definitely somewhere to be looking at. That's at 26,474. I think that is 472. I think that's a good area, and then below that 448 invalidates, guys. I think that's the 30-minute bias. I don't see any other way to do it, because that would be failed initiative on balance back through the lower extreme of the balance. I wouldn't want it anymore on the 30-minute time frame. And then finally, a long lean bias is on the 5-minute, guys. Let's go ahead and zoom into the 5-minute with what we have seen here recently. 5-minute time frame. Yeah, guys, we have seen overlapping price activity here on the 5-minute time frame since I made those this morning, and I'm going to say that we're looking for the 576s now on any pullback. Any 576s, we're looking for a price pattern into it, and then sustained trade below the lower extreme, below that 564s. Call into question that long lean on the 5-minute time frame. So the 576s, the 576s and the 564s. And validation is the 564s. Okay, so that's what we're seeing. I'm gonna go ahead and repost that NASDAQ, repost that YM for you now that we have tightened up those a little bit. Okay, and yeah, guys, what else are we seeing? Eric, we will get to talk about what you said yesterday on paper selling all day and locals buying, right? We'll definitely talk about that. So we have seen Russell, right? Russell is weak, just like that YM, right? Just like that YM. And I'm not done yet, Karen. That Russell, we have seen some weakness in that Russell. Let's go ahead and flip over there. Yeah, we have seen some weakness in the Russell, guys. And I think that we are just chopping them up on this 1 hour time frame, this 30-minute time frame, guys. I think we're just chopping them up here in this lower area, area balance lower. I think that we still do have that I do think that we do have a short lean bias on 30 minute, and that key area is the 1721 spot 8. That's the upper extreme, give or take. And then we do have a long lean bias in the 5 minute. We're currently initiative on the 5 minute balance, and sustained trade below the 12 spot 4 invalidates. Let's go in and let's take a look at that. Since we are short on the 30 minute, and we do have a long lean bias on the 5 minute, I do want to talk about why, right? We are balancing them up on these recent highs, guys. On these recent highs, we did see initiative out of balance, but I do think that I think it's really tight to have our 5 minute bias be taken away at the 14s. So I'm going to leave it down here at the previous area balance, guys. Looking for sustained trade below that 12 spot 4, and that takes away our bias. Our bias, we will be initiative. We will have failed that initiative out of balance fully below the 12 spot 4s. So that's only 2 points lower, 2 points lower. So that does conclude what we are seeing, guys. I do want to bring to your attention, definitely want to bring to your attention the dollar, guys. Dollar has started to balance on the recent lows. That crude, as the dollar sold off with it. That RBOB, as the dollar sold off with it, and then we are seeing that crude get a bid, and that RBOB get a bid off those recent lows, guys, off those recent lows. So we're not back to previous highs. We're overnight highs in the crude were the 71.35s. We are trading 71.12s last, are up 36 cents on the day. But yeah, guys, we are definitely seeing that RBOB off its recent lows. We're a penny and a half off its recent lows, a cent and a half. So that's a nice little trade this morning. So guys, Eric has asked that actually I'm going to go ahead and conclude the broadcast for today for YouTube and Chart Talk, and then I'll definitely get to Eric's question, subscriber question. So guys, again, thank you so very much for being here. It is 8:23, guys. That was a 22 minute Chart Talk this morning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We were able to tighten up some of those stops since I made them this morning at the 6:30 Central Time frame. So guys, I definitely want to thank you for being here. My name is Eric V. I'm Hoi Soy. I am the voice of FutureSquawk, and this has been a Lost Child production. This Lost Child production is dedicated to my son, my beautiful, loving son, the light and wonder of my life. You know, bro, that I'm thinking about you every single day, and I will be part of your life again soon. All right, I do want to conclude this and say, those of you guys who are watching on YouTube, feel free, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate to reach out at sayhi@futuresquawk.com or reach out at the phone number on the website. There's also there's many different ways. You can also find me at FutureSquawk on Twitter. Thank you so very much, and have a wonderful, successful, and an amazing trading day. By the way, guys, like I told Sean earlier this morning, if you are shorting up into these highs, I think you're taking a shot in the dark. Could it work out? Yeah, but you could just as easily put an arrow into the tire of your getaway vehicle too. So I would if you shoot an arrow into the tire, then you're probably not going to have a very good getaway vehicle. I just want to throw that out there. There is the potential of that, so be careful trading to the short side today, guys. Tight stops if you do.